Morning.
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well too. We're getting weather here. I don't know, some rain that we haven't seen for a bit, but shouldn't do anything to this. We have lots to talk about. I guess I want to dive right in. We found out that there's going to be a base meme summit coming up on June 6th. So Jesse Lawboat put out it's really a call to action to get those of us who are a part of Bodhi and have a desire to see something more happen with it. We can get in there, and his suggestion is that we put Bodhi in our name. This would be our X name, and then to comment all during this meme summit, throw up memes to just like kind of describe what we're doing. You know, we have such a we can be completely honest and still have some really like interesting story to tell. We don't have to make up some idea that we're Arnold Schwarzenegger or Chuck Norris. You know, like this isn't just about grandstanding and making the best meme. This is about like we've already got stuff happening, guys. Like you should take a look. So if you're a memer, hey, get in there and show your stuff. But you can just contribute by discussing, you know, tell people about it because it's a great story. It really is. We know that the primary like motivator for Bodhi in the first place was the new game that's coming out. And we found out the name of the game is going to be Mooncast. We found that out last week, and tried and true, man. Jason Hughes is doing the Friday updates. So we get to log into the Outcast server, and he'll plug that up there. There is a distinction. The server is still called Outcast, and I think that I actually like that because what it does is it represents like the community side of this game, where we do feel like maybe some of us feel like outcasts in this sense, but the game name is Mooncast.
Yep.
But in the Outcast server, he's been posting these Friday updates for the game, and it's, man, if you know what he's talking about, then feel free to just enlighten us because I read down that stuff and I'm like, I am glad you know how to do that because eventually I want to play this game. But
sometimes I'll just take it and throw it into like some AI and be like, explain this to me like I'm 5. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get what you're saying here.
It's like the Galaxy Quest. Speak to us like we were a little child.
But no, and also I just went ahead and did this. I meant to do it. But you know, if you're also in the GG Collective Discord, in the Bodhi Hub, because that's kind of where this all started, we do have a Mooncast updates channel that will now follow that directly.
Okay, yeah.
So you can get that information source from either place.
That's great. Yes. So they let us know a couple things. What I was able to translate is that some of the stuff that's going on could only be built on the back of experience. So these guys, years building a different game and involved with the blockchain, like setting up a new MMO with certain parameters. You know, the community was expecting to be able to have these sorts of interactions within the game. And so as they were fleshing that out before, now they have a new opportunity to start from scratch. And it seems like from everything that we're seeing that they have found a number of things that are just going to help streamline the process, making things easier as far as communication, both with the people involved with the project and the project itself, the way that the back end and the front end would communicate with one another, things like that. Yep. That's my interpretation. Feel free to correct me. feel free to make us smarter because without, I think I would need to take some very extensive online classes before I was able to understand most of what's being talked about. But in addition to that, they talked about they had a meeting, and it was more or less to lay out the priorities for the game. You know, they had the stuff that has to happen now, the stuff that has to happen but not now, and then some stuff that might be nice to happen. So that was the basic gist that he passed on to us as far as what they were talking about. Then there was another meeting that he talked about that he said something about GG Collective people but he also tagged it on and he says, and that's something we'll have to talk about later. So I'm really curious as to what that was about. A little bit of a Thune thing there for everybody. We will definitely be scouring whatever channels that there are to find more information so we can let you know whatever exciting it is that it's going to be able to come out of that stuff.
Yeah. And I was able, one quick thing I'll add is, I was able to I live down here in Austin. Consensus was here, he had come up. And so, being able to sit down with him and Nate and, just talk about, just hear that common interest and, the drive to build something great for the community that's long lasting. I mean, being able to talk over Discord and stuff is great, but whenever you get a chance to really sit down face to face, hear the emotion behind their voice and the passion in what they're trying to build, it's pretty exciting to see. And yeah, it's going to be, I'm really, really excited to see what Mooncast is going to be able to do.
I'm a big fan of that. That's one of the reasons I like voice chat. Like that's as close as I can get to a lot of people, but you still have that, you've got dramatic pause all of a sudden that you don't have when you're typing, whatever it is, there's just,
the classic, you read something the wrong way because depending on inflection in your voice, this text can mean different things depending on how it's said. So it's important
for sure.
Get more context behind, who this is that, is building this and gives us all these amazing updates and has been so passionate to the community. It was great to be able to sit down and just talk.
Yeah. Along the same lines, there have been some things going on in the Outcast server. They gave it a new paint job, I guess is the way they described it. And Cal Elf announced that they're going to be using Stream Sniper now for people that like content creators. And so if you would like to be a part of that, if you're a content creator that wants to stay in touch with the people in the Mooncast community, people that are doing things related to Bodhi, this is a good way for you to be able to connect people to what you're creating. So if you want to do that, either Cal Elf, Rusty Spork, or Raisin Brand TM within the Outcast server, you can talk to them and they'll get you connected. And people that want to be tracking these things, either the live streams or the videos, you can go into it's the channels and roles menu at the very top of the left-hand side. You can go in there and select your roles, and you'll get the notifications when new stuff comes on. So one of those community builder type things that allows people to not only stay connected to the information, but it also gives the content creators an audience. That's the whole point, right? We want to be able to support these guys as they continue to put out new content. You need viewers, and so sometimes you don't know when something new comes out. This is going to be one of those ways that we can help them out. We can get in touch and we can find out when they're going live or when they're when they posted something new.
100%.
I want to do a transition to something that we haven't talked about this one on here before, but I have talked about it in the past. There's this game. It's essentially a game system, but the game is Battle Showdown, and they're launching their Battle Showdown Gambit. Now this is it's a Smash Bros. Style brawler game, and you can see there from the video. It's you have weapons that like projectile weapons, but then there's the chainsaw. So it's a real like convoluted sort of like. I think you can have a number of different weapons. Someone was saying in the Discord server that they had 16 guns, and the guy was like, "That's not enough." Apparently, you need to have some. If you want to be good, you're going to need to have exposure to a lot of the different mechanisms. But okay, so that's all well and good. The game looks like it could be fun. What they've done with this game is a little bit. I want to say even revolutionary because and they're actually kind of billing it that way, that they're pioneering what they call skill-fi. And that I think that term has been used in maybe other context, but for them specifically, they're enabling the the integration of their token, which is the ELS token, ELS, The ELS token is going to be integrated directly into the game, and your in-game balance is going to essentially be at stake while you're playing. So the longer you survive, the more mission objectives you complete, and the more other players you beat, you're going to be harvesting tokens as a result of that. But you will lose them if you're getting defeated or if you're not completing your missions. So this is it's a real-time opportunity to earn, and what they've been very specific that there aren't any delays or minimum thresholds to withdraw tokens. So like if you play a game, get a bunch of tokens and want to cash out right then, immediately available to you. So that's pretty interesting to me. I want to dig a bit deeper personally. I wanted to tell everybody else about it. We heard about this a while back. They're looking at expanding outside just their own game. So any game where there would be skill-based play, they want to be able to open up a similar system. Now, maybe not necessarily for the direct transfer of the ELS token, but the platform that they've built in conjunction with this, they're calling the Gambit trading platform. And what it enables viewers to do, people that are spectators, people that have an understanding of the game, maybe aren't very good at the game, but they really get it and they understand who's good at it. They're opening a system where you can buy bits for players, and what those bits will do is allow you to share in the winnings of the player you're holding bits on. It's a quasi-staking mechanism. You're actually purchasing the bits, though. Now, there is a marketplace where you would be able to sell them back. It's a pretty complex system, but it's, again, one of these things that I don't see anybody else doing something like this. Now, I have some hesitation on it because of maybe legal reasons. What's your take, Blake? Let's get some out of here.
Not being a lawyer and knowing what I do know about kind of how the earnings model has to work and how there's a reason we did or have set up the GG Collective in the reason we've set it up this way, because when you do go to distribute earnings and things, that is a lot of times could be sanctioned as a security depending on how you're doing it, and especially when you throw in something that could be potentially you are gambling, right, to a degree. I mean, it's really how different it. I mean, the only difference is, I guess, the model of where the earnings come from. But it's like if I bet on a UFC fighter to win a fight, if he wins, I get a chunk of that total pool. Granted, his pay doesn't come from the betting pool; it comes from tournament side itself, but I don't know. It does.
Well, that's what's interesting about this, because the victory pool includes a portion for the bits holders. So it is actually you are receiving a portion of the player's earnings as far as they categorize.
Yeah.
So that's I don't know if that changes things.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It's interesting to say the least. I mean, at the back, like you said, I haven't seen anyone else do it this way. I don't know if that's because, there's an issue with doing it this way, or if it's just, they were, maybe they're just first. And
yeah. So I wanted to say this. This is all kind of one big disclaimer. But following this up, their game is going live on June 25th. There's going to be a period prior to that where there's 1,000 whitelists.
To do that.
There's going to be 1,000 whitelist spots that are able to get in earlier, and so people that are playing are going to have a chance to battle against the initial players. But they're also going to be opening the trading platform for bits as well, and so that'll give people an opportunity. Those 1,000 people are going to have an opportunity to get bits first, which means that the price will not have climbed as people buy more bits of a player. There's a gradual increase in the price per bit, and so the whitelisted players are going to have an opportunity there. There's still whitelist openings available. They're kind of raffling them off. They're doing a bunch of different initiatives for that. In the background, they've had a very complex social-fi platform all along that has you can with liking posts and replying to posts or retweeting posts, you'll be able to get some points, but then those points are compounding continually, and you can add multipliers to those points based on certain NFTs that you're holding or whatever. That has been going on for quite a while, months even, and so there are people that are really involved in that system, and some of those people are going to be able to win whitelist spots. But there are other mechanisms as well. Like I said, there's raffles and other ways. So if you're really curious about this and you think it looks like a good enough opportunity, just wanted to present it here. We have some thoughts that who knows what anybody in charge is going to say about this, but they are definitely they're taking that step forward. I mean, it's an obvious relationship between what we witnessed in Ready Player One as kind of sci-fi to what is kind of, at least the blockchain is capable of this. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Blake. We love that reminder. I am not a professional.
Yeah, we're not anything, and we're not shilling
I'm
anything.
Definitely not a professional financial advisor.
Yeah, and you started with this, but it's like, we just kind of you discovered it. We're just kind of talking about it here just to show you guys what's out there. We have no stake in this whatsoever.
Yeah.
We're not, this definitely isn't a part of the GG collective in any means. This is a cool project that who knows what's going to happen, but it's cool at least.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes open because it has the potential to do some really cool things, and we'll see what the powers that be have to say about it. And we'll see how they execute. There's always that too. We're still really early in the phase of implementation for the game itself and the platform. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what kind of new crops up.
Yeah.
Another game I wanted to look at this week was it's an RTS called Wild Forest. Now we gave an update a couple weeks back on this one, just kind of an overview. They were in season 7 at the time, and between season 7 and season 8, they recently sold a they were calling them Spirit Warriors packs. Now these were on the Mavis store. They're a Ronin chain game, and they sold all of them. And I think the Ron or Ron token is it's doing better than some other ones, and it was like 120 Ronin tokens in order to be able to buy the more premium pack, the top end pack. So there's a lot of hype for this game. There's a lot of people that are still excited about it, super excited about it, even willing to put their money where their mouth is and get deeper in. The game itself, it's a simple real-time strategy as compared to some of the broader scope ones, but it's if you like real-time strategy, it's pretty well put together. They're doing season 8 right now. They recently put out their newest update, and it included 2 new major features. One of them is perks for epic or legendary units, and those perks are just new things that once you level them up to a certain point, it unlocks essentially this new ability for them. And each of them are unique. There's 41 right now within the game. They're going to be they're leaving room to expand to more of them as time goes on. But as of now, they're only allowing these perks. You're not going to be able to do that in the leaderboard tournament. But they just opened their arcade mode. In the arcade mode, your rating is not affected, and you don't have to build your own deck for it. You're provided a deck, and so is your opponent. So the matchup is even, with the exception of your skill level, and so you're really playing against somebody with the same tools, and you just get to see who the better player is. Again, there's nothing at stake in regards to your rating, but you can progress in your battle pass doing things on the arcade mode, and you can do your daily challenges that way as well. So, daily challenges as far as I don't think I need to explain daily challenges. We're all gamers. Anyway, I feel like sometimes I'm talking to a stranger, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Point is, this arcade mode is the only way now to use the perks or to have them go live for you in the midst of the game. And they wanted to do this in order to, like, they're specifically using Season 8 now with the arcade mode in order to balance the perk abilities. They want to make sure that they're not, they didn't overlook anything that's too overpowering. And they're still on, this is not yet the full release. Even though it is a Season 8, they've been assigning season numbers to all of their pre-release, essentially play tests, beta stuff. So, anyway, very exciting. This is a community that's really supportive of the game, willing to sell out that, or able to sell out those packs, and the game itself is just moving right along. They're showing new development all the time, and so for people with a bent for RTS, this is one that you should probably check out.
100%.
Another game that we talked about a couple weeks back, and we kind of left on the back burner to move along, was Wilder World. So Wilder World is it's in its infancy right now, and so the phase of it that we can see right now is really the racing side of it. So these are street races, and they've been in what they call the Wheels Arcade Tournament. Specifically, there was a run up to the Austin finale, and so you had 4 weeks of qualifiers, and then in conjunction with Consensus in Austin, they had an in-person event there for the finals of this race, and it was the player who screen name Rush M took the grand prize and won 30,000 wild tokens, and then we saw some people that we know. Jesus Martinez was there. He got an invite, got to be there in person, and he was just covering it, and probably just enjoying himself, honestly, down there simultaneously with Consensus. I wasn't able to see if they were actually in Consensus. Did you get a chance to
I didn't actually go into Consensus as well. It was, from what I understand, at least a part of it, like they had like a booth set up at Consensus. I was bummed. Nate and I were supposed to meet up with Jesus for dinner on Friday, but he got, they were needing some extra help, and Jesus is a great guy, and he's like, no, I need to make sure and kind of help make sure they're in the place they need to be before I can leave it. And I was like, totally get it, So bummed I wasn't able to see him, was able to catch him last Consensus, and it was great to meet him. And Wilder World's a cool one. It's ambitious for sure. What they're shooting for is big, right? I mean, you look at the level of quality they're trying to produce and stuff. We talked about this last time, like how extensive of a machine you need to have to be able to run it. It's a big project, but it's a cool one.
And that's for now too. I'd imagine there's going to be some optimization that because
for sure
any game that wants to have mass appeal is going to have to reach the masses, and the masses can only afford so much in their hardware. So
even things like Cyberpunk, when it first came out, required way more extensive. It was released kind of in a broken state, wasn't fully optimized yet. Like people with expensive machines couldn't even run it at what they thought they were going to be able to, and now with a machine that's way lower quality, you can run it at phenomenal performance. So
those are the ones we wanted to take a look at this week. There was again, we're going to keep updating everything that's happening that's kind of in step with the GG Collective, but there's so much else out there, and some really exciting stuff too. Like some of these projects have moved along so far. They're looking so good, and what's neat is that they're kind of hitting all the genres too. We're not just seeing shooters per se. And it seems like there's a lot of hype for that. Shooters really do well in Web 2, but there's a lot of different kinds of games out there, and we want to dig in as many as possible. Please don't be shy. Let us know if there's something that you're like, hey, you totally got to take a look at this, and I'd be happy to dive into it and just give some feedback and keep the updates rolling. We want to be a blessing to the community in regards to just passing on information. This is the stuff we see. We're not trying to shill any of these games. We're just really wanting to give a fair shake at anything that looks like it might be a good opportunity. In the meantime, one of the opportunities that we love is Bodhi, and 8-bit Tendies. 8-bit Tendies is just completely like he's all over this, and he put this out. We just want to share this with you as a close. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I guess I'll switch back to it, but it was great having you guys here. We'll leave you with this.
Appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next week and leave you with this one.
Take it easy, everyone.
See ya.
Yarg! I finally got me bogey!